As I promised last week, I like to dedicate this khutbah to one of the most misunderstood verses in the Quran. That is verse 34 from chapter An-Nisa. This verse is a verse of reconciliation and healing in the family. But unfortunately, the way that this verse is translated and propagated, it has ended to be a verse that promotes domestic violence. And there are so much propaganda in Islamophobia against Islam and Muslim because of this verse. الرجال قوامون على النساء بما فضل الله بعضهم على بعض. They are saying that Muslims, they abuse their family and they beat their wives because the Quran has permitted this. They translate this verse wrong way. To the extent that someone in Germany a while ago, when he beat his wife, and then in the court, he told the judge that what I did was according to my religion. Quran told me it's okay to beat your wife, and this is the copy of the Quran. He showed to the judge that says, "Vadribuhun," beat them. So what I did was okay according to my religion, and there is freedom of religion, freedom of expression of religion, and I express my religion. Nothing wrong with that. And the judge was speechless. He couldn't say anything. He looked at the Quran and said, yes, this is the translation. He dismissed the case and said, you are right. But is that really the case? Let us just go through. I don't have too much time. This is a verse very controversial. All over the world they talk about this. But let's say, first of all, الرجال قوامون على النساء. Well, it said النساء are under the authority, and a man is qawwam, that means he's a dictator. Whatever he says, he's the qawwam. We know that qawwam comes from qawamah or al-qiyam, and that's to stand up. Like for example, qiyam al-sha'b al-Tunisi means that the people of Tunis, Tunisia, they stood up. That is al-qiyam. And there are mushtaqat of this term, like al-qa'im, someone who is standing, aliyun qa'im, al-qa'imu bil-amr, like someone is responsible of certain job and responsibility. You say al-amilina fil marakiz or al-marakiz, means those who are working and responsible in the centers. But al-qawwam is sighatul mubalagha, is stronger than qa'im. Qa'im is somebody who is standing up, and a qa'im. But qawwam is someone who stands up and he can help someone else to stand up as well. The kalima qayyim also comes from the same source. It's like qayyim al-sighar, qayyim al-aytam, qayyim al-ulad means someone who has the custody over the kids. But then we have the word al-qayyum, that is the highest strength, and there is only one al-qayyum, Allah la ilaha illa huwa al-hayy al-qayyum, the only hayy, the only qayyum, that is Allah, that He is standing and everything and everyone gets their qiyam, their standing, their strength from Him, and He does it without condition. It's not like a qayyim that someone is qayyim al-awlad, is doing something for them, but later on He expects them to do something for Him. Al-qayyum doesn't need anything like that. So, when in this verse, الرجال قوامون على النساء, means that the man, a husband, is the one who is able to stand, not only can manage his own life and support his own self, but he is able to support a family, support a wife. That means the wife can stand up based on the support of al-qayy, al-qawwam. In this sense, qawwam means a supporter. Qawwam means the one who provides financial and also moral security for the family. For this reason, if someone cannot be a qawwam, it's better to wait, not to marry. If you are a qawwam, that means you can take care of yourself and take care of your wife, then you are qualified for marriage. But if not, then you have to wait. Because al-rijal qawwamun ala al-nisa is the responsibility of providing of finance and moral security, two things. That he can save the family financially and morally. That is al-qawwam. بما فضل الله بعضهم على بعض وبما أنفقوا من أموالهم. Now, how he exercised, how he says, I'm qawwam. Number one, فضل Allah, is that God has given preference, fadila, of بعضهم على بعض. It's interesting. The verse doesn't say that Allah فضل الرجال على النساء. It doesn't say that. He says, بما فضل الله بعضهم على بعض. Some of them have preference over some others. In this case, the context is like some men have some like al-qiyam or priority or superiority over our women. But it's not just all the rijal and all the nisa. All men have authority over all the priority over all the nisa. No, ba'dhum ala. Some of them over some of them. That means there is an exception. There are cases that there is a woman who فَضَّلَهَا عَلَى رَجُلٍ. In generally speaking, yes. It is a man who have this preference. But it's not just على الإطلاق, it's not absolute. There might be بالعكس. So some of them on some of them. And the verse doesn't say who over whom. بعضهم على بعض. But then if someone wants to be qawwam, it's better to have this fadila. That Allah فضل هذا الرجل على هذا الامرأة because he is qawwam and his qawwamiyya, he is in this position because first of all, he has this preference. That means he has this strength to take care of the family, and at the same time, بِمَا أَنْفَقُوا مِنْ أَمْوَالِهِمْ, he is able to provide nafaqah and provision for his wife. So for this reason, they are qawwam. And at the case of women, the verses فَالصَّالِحَاتُ قَانِتَاتٌ حَافِظَاتٌ لِلْغَيْبِ بِمَا حَفِظَ اللَّهُ. As the man is qawwam and yunfiq wa ya'mal, take care of the management of the family, but the wife, women, supposed to be salihat, to be righteous, and qanitat, from qunut, means obedient, and hafidhatun lil ghayb. Qanitat means obedience. Some of us say means the wife be obedient to her husband. But the verse doesn't say that necessarily. Qanitat is general. Even men, qanitin wa qanitat. Even men supposed to be qanitin in another verse. Obedient to God. So qanitatun means wife should show righteousness and obedience, but apparently obedience to God first. And then if her husband is in the way of God, so obey her in reality is the extension of obedience of the principles. And number 3, hafizatun lil ghayb. Ladies, protect the principles that Allah has designed. Whether their husband is there or whether the husband is absent. Hafizatun lil ghayb. Even if the husband is ghaib, he is not there, but they are hafizat. They protect the principles that hafiz Allah, the principles that Allah has arranged for the family. So, al-rijal are qawwamun, but al-nisa also are salihat, qanitat, wa hafizat. So there is a balance here. Another meaning for qanitat is that they are humble. You know, lots of families are destroyed because lack of humbleness. Arrogance kills the family. Arrogance is a disease for families. And there is no the joy of humbleness and love and this taste of healing in the family and harmony in the family, then that is really a disease that destroys the foundation. Then Allah says, وَاللَّاتِي تَخَافُونَ نُشُوزَهُنَّ. Now, it's the same verse. Still we are talking about verse 34, chapter An-Nisa. So far the man is doing his duty, his qawwam, and in this one they are doing their duty, they are qanitat, they are hafizat, and they are okay. But now if things change, allati takhafuna nushuz, if there is a danger, there is a fear of nushuz, that means this lady is not salihat, is not qanitat, is not hafizat anymore. Ahlun nushuz. Nushuz has so many meanings like stubbornness, hostility, resistance, rebellion. Ardun nashaza means some is like a land that is murtafa, like a hill that you can see it. It's a rebellion. Nashaza, like it's not musatta, it's not a level land. If someone is nashaz or nashaza, rebellious, and it doesn't have to be only wife, because there's another verse in the same chapter, Surah An-Nisa, verse 128, وَإِنْ إِمْرَأَةٌ خَافَتْ مِنْ بَعْلِهَا نُشُوزًا أَوْ إِعْرَاضًا. So the same chapter also talks about nushuz of men. It's not only women. If a man is nashaz, means he is not qawwam anymore. He is not doing his duty towards his wife anymore. But now in this verse we are talking about nushuz of women.